last week saw the annual Solas Big Boat Challenge on Sydney Harbour. The fleet was 3 100-foot Super Maxies and 6 60 to 70 feet Mini Maxis. In the 100-foot division, Christian Beck, Juan Ks, Law Connect, led home from Andoo Comanche, and Juan Ks Scallywag. Anthony Johnston's Reichel Pugh 72, URM Group, was the winner of the Mini Maxi division. We thank Christian Beck for the use of Law Connect's live stream footage for this report.
Law Connect was the first home in the Solas Big Boat Challenge, and URM Group continues its dominance. 9 of the best-performing Maxi racing yachts in Australia competed in ideal sailing conditions with an 18-knot northeasterly breeze on Sydney Harbour in the 5th and final race of the 2023 Raymarine Australian Maxi Championship. The Solas Big Boat Challenge has become a popular spectator event over its 25 years and seldom fails to deliver close and exciting racing. As the last major event before the Rolex Sydney Hobart on Boxing Day, it's a final test for crews, an opportunity to test setups and a chance to claim bragging rights over rivals. The 2023 victors in both Maxi, 80 to 100 foot, and Mini Maxi, 60 to 79 foot, divisions, have arguably been the form boats of the past few months. Christian Beck's Juan Ks Maxi 100, Law Connect, has placed second to Andoo Comanche in many races in 2023 and has also been bridesmaid for line honours in the past 3 Rolex Sydney Hobarts, but under the guidance of Tony Mutter and Ty Oxley, the crew has gelled strongly and been sailing as a tight team. They completed the course without a blemish. Anthony Johnston's Reichel Pugh 72, URM Group, winner of the Mini Maxi division, has won IRC race out of 5 in the 2023-24 Audi Centre Sydney Blue Water point score races, and is looking hard to beat in its division. The Raymarine Australian Maxi Championship, wrapped up with both Law Connect and URM Group, comfortably taking out their divisions after consistent performances across the 5 races, Cabbage Tree Island Race, 3 passage races over 2 days, and the Solas Big Boat Challenge. At the prize giving afterwards, Law Connect's owner, Christian Beck, jokingly declared, "If given the choice between first place in the Solas Big Boat race, or second in the Rolex Sydney Hobart, I'd always choose the big boat." Earlier in the day, a panel of competitors talked about their preparation for Boxing Day, and what the Australian Maxi Championship means to them. Tony Mutter, Law Connect, Duncan Hine, and Adrienne Cahalan, Alive, David Gotze, No Limit, David Griffith, Whisper, and Anthony Johnston, URM Group, entertained the audience with anecdotes and observations about the fleet. When sharing his enjoyment for the Raymarine Australian Maxi Championship regatta, David Gotze of No Limit said, "It's a fantastic regatta. Racing the competitive boats that go down to Hobart, we use it as an opportunity to compete against international entrants who come down to Sydney for both the Maxi Championships and the Hobart race." The Solas Big Boat Challenge results were: IRC overall, URM Group, Alive, No Limit, Wild Oats 10, Money Penny, Law Connect, SHK Scallywag, Andoo Comanche, and Whisper who retired. IRC Maxi Division, Law Connect, SHK Scallywag, and Andoo Comanche. IRC Mini Maxi Division, URM Group, Alive, No Limit, and Wild Oats 10, Money Penny, Whisper, retired. Line Honours, Maxi Division, Law Connect, Andoo Comanche, and SHK Scallywag. The Solas Big Boat Challenge is the last race before the 2023 Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race on Boxing Day, the 26th of December 2023.
This is your weekly Global Sailing Highlights show, the world on water for week ending December 15, 2023. The Italians roared into Auckland in historic Mack-Intyre Ocean Globe race finish to Leg 2. After 36 days, and 7,500 nautical miles of racing, translated 9 IT, triumphed, taking first-in-line honours, Provisional IRC, and Flier Class, in Leg 2 of the Ocean Globe race. Pugh 6 of France took second, finishing at 1 hour 41 minutes and 20 seconds, NZDT. Spirit of Helsinki, Finland, battling for third-in-line honours.
A perfect finish to the perfect Southern Ocean sailing adventure, and in true Auckland style the triumphant translated 9IT-09 were greeted with 4 seasons in one day. The stunning Italian Swan 65, skippered by Vittorio Malingri, sailed over the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron finish line at 13 hours 25 minutes and 22 seconds, NZDT, taking first-in-line honours, Provisional IRC and Flier Class. This will herald their second IRC win, having taken the title in the Leg 1 race, Southampton to Cape Town. The 10-strong crew were determined to retain the prestigious title in the Cape Town to Auckland leg, and their dogged determination paid off. Vittorio Malingri, translated 9 skipper, says they're delighted with their tactics. "We went south, you have to go south, that is how you sail around the world. Some days in the fog it was 1 degree, 4 degrees. We didn't see the sun for 2 weeks. But we are so happy to be here. New Zealand is an amazing country," said Vittorio, whose father Franco, and uncle, Doi, took part in the first Whitbread Round the World race in 1973. And now his son Nico is the first mate on board translated 9. It really is a family affair. Nico Malingri admitted they didn't know they were in first position until docking in Jellicoe Harbour. "It feels so good to be here. It feels just amazing. It was a technical leg and we didn't have any big storms, so we managed to push at the right time and keep cool when it was necessary. The crew performed amazingly," said Nico. The OGR, a race celebrating the 50th anniversary of Whitbread Round the World race, means translated 9's triumphant return to Auckland is particularly poignant. The yacht and her crew have deep historical connections to the Whitbread and Auckland. In 1977, she sailed into the city under the name ADC AccuTrack, skippered by Claire Francis, the first woman to skipper a Whitbread yacht. Arriving into Auckland is like a homecoming for the adventurers on board the iconic Swan. Translated 9 navigator Golden Globe sailor Simon Kerwin, aka as the Celestial Skipper, also was surprised coming in to find they were in first. They knew about most of the boats but not about Pugh 6's position. It was a very mild Indian Ocean. Loads of high pressures, no big systems, not too much damage. We're short of a spinnaker pole that folded in half, but apart from that we're in pretty good shape. As for plans for today, I'm not sure what comes first. Shower, beer or food? I think beer, as I've already had a shower thanks to the champagne," laughed Simon. Translated 9 took the most southerly route of the fleet, only being forced north to round the third waypoint en route from Cape Town. They battled with Pugh 6 throughout the leg, with things getting particularly interesting when Pugh 6, skippered by Marita Barley, took the controversial decision to sail through the Bass Strait between Tasmania and Australia. For a while, it looked like the gamble might have paid off, but translated 9's position continued to offer the better winds, aiding her perfectly around the often difficult Cape Ranger. It's notorious for producing some surprises for rounding the North Island, but not so on this occasion. Now it's time to celebrate, for the crew of translated 9, and few cities will offer a better welcome. Taki Auckland Unlimited, the organisation that invested $175,000 on behalf of Auckland Council to bring the race to Auckland, are naturally very proud of what Auckland has to offer the weary sailor. The month-long stopover is anticipated to generate at least $2.1 million GDP for the Auckland economy. No doubt much of that will be generated by the crew parties over the coming days.
Feels so good, guys. Feels so good. It was a long leg, pretty tricky. It feels amazing, man. Like it's like a dream. Really a dream coming true. It was a technical one. We were lucky not to have very big storms, a lot of high pressure, but we managed to push when it was the time and to keep cool when it was the moment to keep it cool, it was great. All the crew performed amazingly. All the guys was amazing. This guy here, right here, it's a beast. It's a monster, guys.
At what moment did you knew that you are first?
No, right now.
Because I had the feeling when
Yeah,
Clara told you you are first, you are looking like.
No,
we
didn't know. We had like the position of Spirit like a couple of days ago, and that was it. Like
really?
last position of Pendwick was like
Yeah.
near Tasmania.
Yeah, you've got about on IRC. You've got about a day and 8 hours or 12 hours in front of Triana. So you're probably going to get IRC as well.
Max Marder of Singapore made a stunning start to the Formula Kite male competition at the Youth Sailing World Championships, winning all 6 races to take a commanding lead after the first day of racing. There was also more success for Ewa Lewandowska and Julia Maria Zmudzinska, Poland, who continued their strong form with another 2 bullets to make it 5 out of 6 in the 29 of female class.
Welcome to Brazil. Today is the first day for the World Sailing, Youth World Sailing.
There is a good windy. I think that there is a big flap and for a good nation.
This year is very special to us because it is in our home country, so the environment is a little bit more familiar to us. The conditions for the championship, we will be expecting good conditions, better than today.
Today I feel good, I'm relaxing before going to the water. I'm really happy to be here in Brazil and I'm focused for the regatta.
And for the week, we're hoping for good weather, and we're also hoping to learn a lot from the really good fleet. And this is our first Youth World, and I think it's going well so far.
This is a very good place. It's a good condition, good wind.
After 23 days and 64 races in Gran Canaria, at the SSL Gold Cup it all came to the Final Four, and the Grand Final. The inaugural Football World Cup in sailing's thrilling conclusion. It all started with 56 nations, qualifying at Lake Neuchatel to make the Final 40 at the Gran Canaria Final Series with 5 rounds of competition to reach this stage. The wind may have been light, but as the 5-minute countdown to race began, the tension was the equivalent of a hurricane. In sailing, the race starts well before the starting gun as the teams jostle for position, aiming to start in the perfect place at top speed. In this one-race shootout for the title of World Champion of Sailing Nations, there are no second chances. It's all or nothing.
Today is the day that we've all been waiting for. It's the last day and the finals of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series. The day where we will find out who will become the nation's world champion.
1, 2, 3.
In the final race of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series, it was a completely wild start, as we only saw 2 boats having a good, clean start. As we got towards the weather mark, we saw the Spanish boat having difficulties laying the mark. The Hungarian boat dove behind them. Being able to have more speed, they took the lead and got to the weather mark first. Italy too came strong, and then it was Italy's turn. They had loads of speed coming into the weather mark and were hot on the heels of the Spanish team. The Hungarians managed to keep the lead as they went down through the gates and managed to stay in front until the second weather mark, pulling out a lead that they would manage to keep in order to cross the line first and become the first ever SSL Gold Cup Finals Series Nations World Champions. Italy came in second, Holland third, and Spain fourth.
We knew that in these conditions we are strong. I knew that the guys can sail the boat as fast as possible. So I can say that it was a pleasure to be on the tactician side. I had zero doubt that we can make it. So it was just amazing.
So thank you all for having watched the SSL Finals, as we'll be back in 2026 for the second edition of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series, the Football World Cup in sailing.
Tokyo 2020 gold medalist Matt Wern continued his fine 2023, winning the ILCA 7 class ahead a strong field including his Australian squad mates, and New Zealand's 2022 world champion Tom Saunders, and 2023 World Championship bronze medalist George Gautry. "We had 4 great days of racing with big breeze and good waves," noted Wern. The ILCA 7 squad now have their sights set on the 2024 World Championships, which will take place on home waters out of Adelaide Sailing Club from the 24th of January.
So just wrapped up Sail Melbourne. Pretty happy with how the event went. Really tried to make it as perfect as I could, but had a big breakage on the last day, which coming out of the last 3 races, which is a little disappointing, but what can you do?
Yeah, we've had 4 great days of racing with big breeze and good waves, so it's made for a tough few days, but also it's also nice sailing the laser and the ILCA and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so last day of Sail Melbourne today. We went into it on equal points with our Italian training partners. We knew it was going to be a bit of a spicy day, especially when the coach just said, "I'm going to sit back and watch, I want blood." And that's definitely what they did. They brought it to us in the first race. We managed to minimise the damage too much and went into the second race with absolutely guns firing. Managed to come out with the win in the last race, which put us in first in the regatta on countback. So yeah, we're just so lucky to have such good training partners that are pushing us really, really hard on the water.
Day 2 at the IQFoil Games in Lanzarote brought us a full day of exhilarating course racing. The men's class blazed through 5 intense races, with the reigning world champion, Dutch powerhouse Luc van op Zeeland, leading the charge. Meanwhile, in the women's class, Shannon maintains her dominance after completing 4 course races.
Lanzarote IQFoil Games, Day 2.
some nice course racing. I think 15 knots max, so it will be relatively light for course, but definitely enough to
It was pretty good, nice wind, so yeah, I'm pretty happy and I just hope we get more wind tomorrow. Yeah, it's a really nice place, we come here every year to train because England is super cold, but yeah, it's nice wind and big waves at the moment, so yeah, it's a fun place to come.
Sam Goodchild is the new IMOCA Globe Series champion after a remarkably consistent 2023 season. After finishing third in the return to base, his fifth consecutive third-place finish of a remarkable debut season, the British yachtsman Sam Goodchild was confirmed as IMOCA Globe Series champion for 2023. And it came at the end of a year that saw him travel around 32,000 nautical miles in races, first on board second-placed finisher Wholesome PRB for much of the ocean race. Then he lined up in the Guide of Bermudes 1000, the Rolex Fastnet race, the Defi Azimuth 48 Hours, and the Transat Jacques Vabre.
J'ai commencé l'année en janvier à faire l'Ocean Race en équipage et puis on finit là en solitaire avec le Transat. C'était quand même... que ça se passe comme ça, c'est dingue. J'attendais jamais que ça se passe comme ça. C'est génial. Et oui, j'étais premier de championnat Globe Series. Je pensais surtout que j'ai beaucoup navigué, à faire 2-3 projets en même temps. Donc c'était lourd, c'était costaud, c'était pas toujours simple, surtout à la maison. Je pense pour ma femme qui a fait l'Ocean Race et le projet IMOCA en même temps aussi, mais avec 2 enfants. Donc voilà, c'était une année intense, mais voilà, je pourrais pas espérer que ça se passe mieux que ça.